Also, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask them. And if you have any tips or advice for the Discord, feel free to let me know. Um, so market just opened there. So you can see these green bubbles are pretty big, right? We zoom out, pretty big coming in. And you can see that basically the darker red areas, or the darker yellow, darker red, are where the bigger orders are sitting. So on Polarity, looks like good delta coming in there. Delta's still correlated. We have absorption on the bottom candle that just formed on Polarity. If you want, chart that out. And absorption on the top of this red candle as well. Looks like it could be forming a range. But just because it's forming a range, it doesn't necessarily mean regression is going to win, okay? I've noticed lately that even if we're in a range, if delta and price are still correlated, then that seems to matter a little bit more. So absorption here could be forming a range, right? And remember, we have potentially a point of control channel here. Okay. So something I've been seeing with Bookmap lately is what you can see on Bookmap really easily is a range, right? So if we start to form a range, I'll mark out basically just some horizontal lines to show the range. And then if we get a breakout of that range and we see big buying on the time and sales and these basically the big green bubbles to pop up and shoot straight up, then that usually indicates to me that we're going to be in trend mode on Polarity and we're going to be moving up, right? Or vice versa if we break down. But it's a little easier, I noticed, to do that. Maybe just wait for Bookmap to show you that and then flip it into trend mode when you see the trend. That worked really well last week, but also last week was a pretty big trend week, I'd say. So quite a bit of absorption showing on the Polarity here. Already 3 absorption areas since open in 2 minutes, so we can see that on the time and sales here, these 100 contract orders are decently big, right? But lately, like Thursday, Friday last week, I was seeing a lot of 1,000 contract orders buy or sell, which those are pretty big. Those can have a big change on the market, right? Delta and price is still correlated. Kind of moved up through that absorption. Now we're moving towards that derived zone now. You can see we have a lot of orders at 42.10, which also lines up basically with the top of this derived zone. So we could be seeing some resistance here. Just be aware of that, all right? Potentially a regression long could be good up here. You just gotta be careful if we start to trend up. Yeah, there's a beautiful. So you can see big move up there, lots of buying, good buy orders. Trend mode definitely was the proper start to the morning. You can see we had 6 imbalances there that formed, right? Boom, boom, boom. Trend mode for the win, right? So whenever I've been seeing these wicks lately on these range charts, we move down, right? And then you see a long wick like this. To me, that indicates we're going to be breaking out of a range lately, okay? So you got to watch out for these because I've been noticing that lately, okay? We're about to hit this 8-hour supply zone. You can see, look at these buying, right? The buying is way stronger than the selling right now. I mean, you can also see that from the delta. You can also see that from the positive delta on Polarity. So that trend mode trade would have definitely won there. That did win, actually. And now, yeah, you can see these bubbles are just straight up, right? It is early in the morning, so if you're just strictly playing supply and demand bookmap plays, you know, you usually want to wait more than a couple minutes just to let the market develop. But we do just have 2 derived zones that formed to the buy side, so green derived zones, right? So we'll have to see how price reacts to that. We did come back a little bit towards it, but volume's still pretty heavy towards the upside on towards the top of these candles. So up here, volume's pretty heavy, so that means to me buyers aren't really exhausted yet. And again, it's a little thinner here and here, right? So this could either be buyers are still not exhausted or sellers are pushing it down, right? But what do we see on Bookmap? I'd say buyers are still stronger. They're not fully exhausted yet. So a lot of orders sitting here, 42.15 area. You see we slowed down once we got here, right? That would have been a good trend win. Was a trend win. Again, if we take a look down here, a lot of buying here. That was probably 800 or 900 contracts bought here within whatever that was, like 10 seconds, right? So big moves up, big volume up. And if any of you guys are wondering what this white line is, that's just a VWAP line. Okay, so moving closer to this 8-hour supply zone. If anyone was long, that could be like a first target there. So again, we could be chopping around these derived zones that just formed. So we'll have to really see how that plays. But I have absorption at the top of this candle, top of this range bar, I should say. So looking here, we could pull back, start chopping around this area. And if we did pull back, it could be a play to switch to regression. I have to really see how the market develops there. We do have absorption up here though. And this is still an absorption here, right? That was from pre-market that we tried it out. Definitely a good call with trend start there. We're just watching how price reacts. No need to rush into anything. I'm not talking for a little bit. It's just because I'm thinking. I don't want to just give you guys some BS, right? Decent buyers coming in here. Another triple stacked imbalance to the upside. Triple stacked long imbalance, right? And a derived zone form. Big positive delta there. You can see we moved up pretty good. We just blasted through that 8-hour supply zone. And that's target hit again. Beautiful, beautifully beautiful. Another triple stacked imbalance. Okay. So we basically touch this gap, right? This gap's right here. We're slowing down at this gap. So we had a triple stacked long. That would have hit take profit, okay? Did hit take profit. We also just got a triple stack sell. So taking a look back here, got the triple stack long here, right? So 2.5, 3 points would have taken you up here. Easy hit, that'd be 2 for 2. 2 for 2 on the day. Have absorption up here. And selling came in, right? Some triple stack sellers. You can see that's probably where like this was. on the tape. And yeah, you can just see though, look at these volume dots. The green bubble is way bigger than the red bubbles, right? And we're going straight up right here, right? And what did I mention in pre-market was we get like a little range formed, kind of like right here, and then we get bubbles greens going straight up out of that. Usually forms a trend, right? And we kind of got that. So we'll see where this goes. Do have absorption on the top of this candle and the bottom of this candle. So if you see these lighter blue areas, that's just basically not heavy orders sitting there. So yeah, we don't really look at the blue, light blue areas. The yellow, orange, and red areas are going to be key. And you can also see that, like on the bid right here, there's 168 contracts sitting at 42.10. Right here, let's see what's happening. Beautiful, another derived zone, triple stacked, long. See how time and sales looks. It's not a super strong breakout right here. Not yet, at least. You can see we're not really moving straight up. Bubbles aren't huge. See how this reacts? We are in the gap now. So the gap starts here. And it goes up to 42.28. Okay. Another absorption forming at the top of this candle. I like to just mark these out as we go. Okay, gives you some better context on the market. Oops, I just deleted the AC4 off. That's fun. I love when I accidentally do that. I tried to delete an absorption and then delete the AC4. I'm gonna put that back on real quick. You can see we are slowing down once we enter that gap. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so taking a look here, absorption here. I was gonna delete this. Okay. I need to turn off the prediction bar. We have absorption here. Okay, so have to see what happens there, but we are slowing down once we entered that gap. Could be forming a range, so let me change this real quick. So we'll put the line color to pink, fill color to I want pink. Whatever, okay, pink. Line width we'll do 5. Save and close. Okay. So we could be forming a range kind of like right here. Right? So we'll watch this. Big selling coming in right now. Triple stack sell imbalance there. We're at this derived zone now. You can see we're rejecting this gap perfectly. Again, you can play polarity off of these. You can scalp off of these. Really do whatever. So we have a a derived zone inside of a derived zone. So that's interesting. Price and delta is still perfectly correlated. So the trend prediction off of market open was great. So this trend short is a winning trade right now. So that's another triple stacked imbalance there on polarity. So you can see big selling coming in. Big red volume dots out of this zone, right? So, and look at the time and sales. A lot of selling, a lot of big selling. Again, if you have the minimum size off, it looks like, oh, maybe there's a lot of buyers. Turn this on, it's heavy selling, right? It's heavy. So yeah, it looks like we are, I mean, that's a perfect winning trade there. Let me turn this pullback bar off real quick. Okay. Yeah, nice winning trade there. Negative 1700 delta. Price and delta is still correlated well. Looking great. Looking like a great morning so far for the first morning on the stream. I hope you guys are getting like something out of this compared to just like copying someone, copying which mode they're in, or just doing whatever they do. So hopefully you guys are actually getting something out of this. That's the goal. So yeah, that's big sell imbalances there. We're moving back down. I mean, trend mode, easy plays all morning right now. As we move closer to these green derived zones right here, we'll have to see how price reacts. So again, that short trade is a winning trade from right here. Okay. So we'll have to see how price reacts. We could start to chop around this zone, or if we blast right through it, then obviously trend mode is going to be the key thing still. You can see we kind of broke out of that range. I wouldn't really call it a range up here, because there's only one bounce off the top, one bounce off the bottom. Usually a range is a up motion, or a down up down. This is just that's not what that is. So we have perfect rejection off that gap. So I guess we're awesome, right? We're awesome. Also taking a look, yeah, we are bouncing off of that derived zone right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it could be a pretty strong derived zone, as it's basically a 6 stack imbalance. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. Again, if you're trading Polarity, then usually what I like to do is 3 wins and call it a day. If you're at 3 wins, or if you're at basically after 3 trades or 4 trades, if you're up on the day, that's a winning day. So just call that. Don't over trade. Okay. I think the more you trade with Polarity, the harder it is to continue to make money. So if you get a good trending move, I like to wait for Bookmap to give me this trend like this, right? And that's an easy trend mode, right? Regression's a little harder in this market right now. You can see a lot of buying coming in off of that derived zone, right? A lot of orders were sitting at these derived zones, right? So seeing this on Bookmap next time, if you see derived zones stacked like this and a bunch of orders on Bookmap indicated by this red, then maybe a regression short could be good. Okay, regression short, I mean, there was no orders there, but a regression short or trend long obviously could be a smart move, right? I mean, there was no triple stacked imbalance there. We've only had 3. I think we've had 3 wins so far. Yeah. So yeah, heavy selling, bounced around the derived zones pretty well. We'll have to see if it actually continues to go up, or if it's so right there, the triple stacked long, also a triple stack short. See where this goes. So again, I mentioned these long wick candles, right? We moved down, we didn't close down. Have absorption down here as well. I'm just gonna mark that out. and we move back up, right? And yeah, these candles you got to watch out for. We have reverse RSI right here, two derived zones inside of each other. So things to keep an eye on, right? These candles for sure are something I've been noticing a lot with lately. Perfect rejection off that gap though. That was a nice trade. I'll call the morning here in about 10 minutes, so we're gonna stay on here for about 10 more minutes. And then yeah. Once this voice is over, if you guys could do me a huge favor and go into the testimonial section, and if you made money today, post it in there. Or if you liked hearing my voice today, go ahead and post that in there, alright? That would help out a lot. Need to gain a big community here. It'll help everyone out. You guys are also free to stay in this call afterwards, and if you want to trade together or chat, then feel free. So let's see. Not a lot of huge orders coming in right now. Nothing crazy so far this morning. We had a good trend up there on open, obviously, but nothing too crazy. Starting to slow down for sure at the moment. Again, if we take minimum size off, you can see this is way too fast. You can't read anything. And these are, 99% of these are really small orders, so they're not really going to have a big effect on the market unless there's like a million of them. So put that minimum size on. You're going to be able to see these orders that are actually having a little bit of an effect on the market. Looks like we're kind of turning down right now, to me. So some other things to watch here. We'll just chart these out. I have a fair value gap that's right here. We're rejecting that right now. Looks like we're turning down to me. So it's actually a good trade. We broke above buy side liquidity. Right there, your break of structure, fair value gap entered here for a short trade, potentially, right? Not giving you financial advice. Enter for a short here. Potential target is probably for a scalp below this low. You want to hold longer, maybe down here. But obviously buying's still decently heavy. Have to see. I mean, has been heavy. Selling definitely came in, but yeah. I'm gonna delete these pink lines. So I'm gonna put a line just at the gap, which is at 42.21. So right here. So that's where the gap was, right? So we rejected that perfectly. Might be forming a range here. Have to see what the Bookmap is showing us here. Hopefully you guys can see how strong Bookmap is. Just really helps you see a different picture. You know what I forgot to do this morning is check for news. So let me check for news. No news today. So only yellow folder news. Nothing big. We have some consumer confidence at 10. Europe. Tomorrow's a big day. We have PMI in the morning, pre-market. Then we have PMI at 9:45 in the morning. It's going to be most likely choppy up until then, so maybe a regression start for tomorrow. New homes. I mean, it's a big news day tomorrow, so might be regression plays tomorrow. Obviously, with news, if you are trading actual news, usually trend mode is going to be better for the initial news. But news can be tricky, so most of the time just disarm like 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after the news. Let it kind of settle out. Again, price and delta is still correlated nice. We have absorption up here. Have absorption down here. Definitely starting to form a range. So be aware of that. We did reject that fair value gap for a few points there. So this is what I'm kind of looking at right here. So you can see we had some resistance over here, right? And then we broke through that big buying. Then we kind of bounced around. We broke back below. Now we're kind of rejecting that. So maybe a range like these pink lines right there. Yeah, not a lot of huge orders coming in. So you can definitely tell a little bit more chop right now just because there's no big orders. Again, these derived zones are right around, what is that, 42.11, yeah, right here, down to 42. Basically, these red lines are still in. So there's a 250 contract bid there. Got some big selling coming in. Yep, see how fast that's moving down? See how fast that's moving down? That's good for trend right there. So continued to be in trend all morning, right? Because price and delta is correlated. Big drop there. We have this derived zone that formed. Again, triple stacked imbalance. You were on a 3-point. That would have won. I've been doing 2.5 points for take profit and stop loss. Just because we have been lacking some volatility. And I feel like whenever I've been using 3 points, it's been basically bouncing right off my take profit without filling me and then hitting my stop loss. So I've been lowering that up a little bit. And you can see a lot of bigger selling coming in, more than the buying, right? Big selling there, broke right through that, no problem. And now we had a bid at 250 lots. Now we have an ask of 225 lots, right? So seller could have been pushing this through, and now he's trying to hold price down. And you can see, yeah, okay, a lot more sellers and buyers here at 42.11. You can see 600 contracts versus 23 bought. That's right here where we broke out. So heavier volume on that breakout, right? Perfect trade there. Trend all morning leads to wins, right? Some good buying on the tape there. I think we have the news that comes out in whenever. Yeah, 45 seconds. It's only yellow folder news, so it shouldn't do too much. We'll have to see. But a decent size coming in. Not huge, but decent. Again, calling out a lot of plays this morning. Rejected this fair value gap. Said you could target here for a scalp. or even down here. Like 4204 would have been the other spot probably for me. I would have my stop loss at break even at this point. So news just came out. We're up. I'm up great on the day right now. Those were good trades. Trend all morning seemed to work out great. Not that hard of a morning to read personally, I thought. Could we form another range here? We'll have to see. I'll wait to see what happens with this range and then I'll probably head out. But right now we do have price delta divergence forming on this candle. Have to see what happens. So let's see. See if anything's changed in the book. So 4200, there's pretty heavy order there, as well as 4204. So that is what I said the other target would be. So there is some liquidity sitting there. Most likely institutions are going to push this down, grab that, in my mind. We'll have to see how this reacts. We do have absorption at the top of this range bar as well. Big selling coming in. Not big selling, but quite a bit of selling. See what happens. See how fast that pushed down? Beautiful. Most likely, looks like we have some absorption here. You can see these bubbles are just growing, but they're not actually moving. You can also see it on Polarity. So there was some good size. Look at the size right here. That's quite a bit of size. So something to watch there. I think we should hit 4204 now. Take this liquidity. Beautiful. We are awesome, right? Okay. Great size. Big size there. Now you can see there's a lot of orders loaded up here. So we have 300 contracts loaded at 4208 and 200 at 4207. So sellers most likely, putting orders here to try and push this back down. Could be short people also putting their stops here, kind of maybe moving their stops along the way. But again, just to show you the trade I was taking, one of the trades I was taking, this trade right here, targeting there, 4204. What I called, right? Pretty sure I called that out 10 minutes ago there. Nice trade. It's about 11 points, risking 3 points. I'm gonna call it there. I hope you guys got some good wins today. If you did, if you could please put those in the testimonials, or even write up a quick little "this morning was awesome" if you actually liked it. I love looking at Bookmap, so we're gonna be doing this every day that I'm at least trading, which is gonna be most days. And yeah, it was in an easy trend mode this morning. So if I'm around the rest of the day, I will be maybe posting some updates in the daily plan channel. But besides that, make sure you guys go watch the supply and demand course. That way you kind of understand what we're looking at every day. And then, yeah, you're free to hang out in here, free to talk on the chat, free to do whatever. But yeah, if you could please write some good things if you like this morning, that'd be awesome. So uh, yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll be around if you have any questions. All right. See you, boys.